There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone. Hello everyone and welcome to SyFy Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the SyFy channel. I'm Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 3 of season 4 of Killjoys.
Oh my gosh. Holy crap, they're just going to keep notching that up.
Yeah, ratcheting it up big
time. Thank you. Alright, well before we jump in, you got some ratings news.
Yes, episode 1 brought in a 0.09 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.451 million viewers, making it the 101st overall cable show for the day. And episode 2 brought in that same 0.09 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.431 million viewers, making it the 92nd overall cable show. So we lost 20,000 viewers and went up 9 spaces.
Okay, I was like, wait a second. I know I just said I'm feeling weird, but that looked weird.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people had something to do that Friday night.
I guess. Alright, well let's jump into this episode, shall we? Called Bro-dTrip. It took me a second. I'm like, wait, what? Johnny manipulates Dav into helping him find a green pool. Zeph faces possible death. Yep, that's nice and to the point.
Yeah. When I saw that, I go, all right, now how the hell is Zeph going to get into trouble where she could face possible death?
Well, you know Zeph.
Yeah. Oh.
So, like, the notes that I took during this one, a lot of it was like, is Johnny thinking clear? Is he Johnny? Is Pip Pip? And I'm like, wow.
Right.
What am I putting? Because it was just crazy what happened. Because we open and we have Johnny and Dav arguing over Dulcea. And like Johnny being like an obnoxious little brother.
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, he was kind of acting like the obnoxious older brother. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Right.
And I was like, what are you doing? It was just so weird seeing him like this. And when he finally does talk to Dav and explains, oh, well, you're going to be no fun anymore. It's like, wait, what? I didn't think you thought he was fun anyway.
Yeah.
But Johnny's like, you help me find the green pool. I know where to find Dutch. It's like, wait, what? Because apparently Johnny suddenly is able to read the stars and know exactly where he is. That's a pretty nifty trick.
Yeah. And they know that they saw Dutch going into the green. So, of course, Johnny says, yeah, if I can interface to a green pool, I should be able to locate where Dutch is. I mean, that's a great lie to tell Dav.
Right. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. You would think it kind of does make a little bit of sense that
right.
I'd be able to do that.
But then Johnny's like, oh, yeah, there's definitely one on this planet. And I'm sitting here like, wait a second. I thought we found that there were no more, or there were like so few and far between. How is there just one happen to be on this planet?
That's a really good question. And how did the warden not find out about it?
Thank you. Like that, I feel like would have been a big thing.
Right.
So I was kind of scratching my head with that. Especially when we do finally see it, that it's not like hidden, it's not underground.
No,
you know,
it's
it's just right out there. Yeah. All is under to see. It's like, wait a second. This doesn't make any sense to me. I'm so confused. Well, I feel like Dav's a little confused, but he does agree to go with Johnny. As long as they come back for Dulcea. It's like, okay, nice to add that little caveat in there, but the way Johnny's acting, you're going to be lucky if Dulcea makes it out alive if he's going to be like this.
Right.
Wow.
I did not expect Johnny to return to get Dulcea whatsoever. Just the comments that he makes through the episode just made it more and more obvious that the only part of Johnny left is Dutch.
Right. And it just got weird and kind of science-y, but mostly weird to me.
Right.
Because Johnny finds where his green goo probe has crashed. Okay, when did you even put that up there?
Right.
I'm like, that must have happened pretty quick, and then I missed it.
Right. Yeah, we didn't see him putting that together, I promise you. That was done off screen.
Yeah. And Dav, of course, is questioning Johnny, as always. And Johnny got kind of pissy and grabs him. Wasn't it by the neck? It's like, oh, okay then. I guess you are going a little over the goo here. You're acting crazy. And then, of course, he lets go and he apologizes. And I was just looking at him like, how is this possible? How are you not seeing that your brother is really messed up right now?
Right.
More than just, I'm really sorry you're going through, how did he put it later? An extreme bout of assholism or something.
Yeah.
I was like trying to think of how he said it. But Dav is trying to get through to him. Just hold on. We just need a little bit longer. We can find Dutch. We can get this taken care of. And as much as I want this to happen, at this point, the way Johnny's acting, I'm like, he's not coming back.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he doesn't want to come back.
Right, because when they do find the goo and they're fighting and, oh my gosh, like, Johnny is all like no holds barred, like ready to kill Dav. And I was like, holy shit, we've lost him.
Right.
And I got worried. Now, obviously that happens a little bit further down. I jumped, but he's showing such an extreme, like, change. I didn't think he was going to be able to be saved at all.
Right. And he may not be able to.
Oh.
Yeah, I think somebody will figure it out, but I don't know if they're actually going to get the opportunity. That's what I'm afraid.
Okay. Interesting. We get Dutch, not in the green, because she is Johnny's mind Dutch, basically.
Right.
And Johnny's like, oh, hey, we just need to put this in Dav's head, basically, neck, whatever, because you will be the one who is tracking. Suddenly, Dav's like, okay, I can track the goo. Ow.
Yeah.
Because he puts this weird thing in, and I thought it was going to, like, explode or something if he tried to take it out. And after that happened, Dutch pops up on screen, and she's like, when he figures out what you're doing, you're going to have a hell of time to explain that, Johnny.
Yeah.
And he just seemed to be like, well, whatever, we'll see if he makes it. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was when he says that, when Dutch says when he finds out what you're really planning, I'm going, this is not our Johnny.
No, this was not good. Even though he made himself seem really, like the Johnny we know and love.
At times he did, yes. At times he didn't. So
right.
It was trying to decide if this was actually an internal struggle that he was having between Hullen Johnny and real Johnny, or was it all an act?
Okay.
And as the episode went on, it was clear to me that it's all an act.
It was crazy, the back and forth. That's why I think most of the fans were like, wait, is he Johnny? Is he not Johnny? What's going on?
Right.
And I'm still kind of questioning it now. And that's how many days later? Well, as we're chilling, like waiting for Dav to be able to continue to track the goo, a little robot comes rolling in. It's like, what? I thought it was a bomb. But instead, it's a message from the warden for this planet. And he's like, hey, yeah, I guess my guys found you. Okay, really? Is it like you just wanted to taunt them? I was kind of like, what the hell? You could have just taken them and you probably would have been okay then.
Right.
But you told them, oh, they're coming.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're going to prepare. And it's 4 guys. I don't think you're exactly surrounded when there's 4 guys.
No. We've seen Jacoby boys get out of a lot worse than 4 men.
But then again, this warden doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, all right, what are we going to do? We can take him out, or we can try this other thing that Johnny's like, oh, come here, hold on to me. Yeah, right here. And all of a sudden, Dutch is like, this may not be a good idea because he could die. And Johnny's just like, oh, okay, let's try this anyway. Boom. What?
Yeah.
Like, when he said that, that's again when I thought the thing he put in his neck was some kind of bomb. And I'm like, there's no way they're killing him off. Right? That's all I kept thinking.
It gave me pause. It was like, don't tell me both these shows are going to do this to us.
Oh my gosh. too many of our shows just start killing off main characters, and we're like, but what? Yeah. So I was really happy that that didn't happen, but apparently Johnny was pretty messed up because he ends up coming to in an old medical building that Dav had found, and he's handcuffed. So I'm thinking at this point, okay, Dav has caught on, right?
You would think, yes. I mean, he's learning that you can't trust your brother.
Which is sad.
Not completely, though, I don't think.
But then Johnny starts talking about the family and the campouts and, oh, when you left, you broke Mom's heart and Dad couldn't handle this. And Dad's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, you cannot keep, like, holding this over me.
Yeah. Playing that card over and over again.
And again, I'm like, all right, so is this Johnny trying to fight his way up? Make Dav use, like, his mind power to, like, get the goo out? What was going on?
Oh,
but I think
Johnny trying to get under his brother's skin.
Yeah, I would say I think he was just being a jerk.
Taunting. Because Johnny comes right back after that and says, yeah, I feel like I've lost a dress size giving up human feelings.
Yeah. Just like, wow, what is up with this?
And then taunts Davin with Dutch and the baby. Were you going to have to give one of them up? Whoa, hold on a minute.
Right. At this point, I think Dav's just like, you know what? You can back this up, and once we fix you, you can stop all that crap right now. I'm done.
Right.
And poor Dav, because Johnny still has that weird tracker in him, so he's losing his lunch. And Johnny, being a smartass, is like, oh, I'd hold your hair back, but click, click, handcuffs.
This is after they've left the med bay and actually found the pool of goo.
Right. Basically just over. Yeah, it was huge.
Pretty damn big pond.
And I guess at this point, Dav's like, all right, I'm done being sick. I'm going to pull this thing out of my neck. And I was like, don't do it.
Yeah.
I was seriously freaked out.
Yeah.
Yes, he just did it. It's like, okay, let's hope for the best. I think at this point, he's hoping that his brother is still himself enough not to, well, kill him. But then again, with all the weird kind of side conversations he's having with Dutch, like mind Dutch, right, it didn't look good for me.
No, not at all. Yeah, I was definitely concerned for Davin. I'm still concerned.
Yeah, especially when Davin's pulling a gun on Johnny. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What? Like, I was completely surprised with this. And I don't know if it was more because Johnny's like, okay, I need some space to do this, or because Dav's like, yeah, I know you're lying. You suck at it.
Yeah, no. I'm not leaving you alone. You'll be full hulling, and there will be no hope of getting old Johnny back. But then he falls for the Johnny playing on his sympathy, going, oh, thanks for not giving up on me.
Right.
Gets himself free and grabs the gun and basically shoots Davin in the back.
I was a little surprised with that. I'm going to tell you, I was surprised. Mostly because I feel like Johnny was still in there somewhere and that he would be fighting it. But apparently, no. And then all of a sudden he's all like, yeah, here I come, beautiful. Until Dutch, well, not even Dutch. When Davin stands up, excuse me, there's too many D's. When he stands up and then pulls, like, I don't know, a bit of armor out from his back. And Johnny's like, oh, you did learn.
Yeah, well played.
Right. Dad's like, yeah, I didn't believe you. And I was really surprised. And then the fighting ensues again.
Right, but when Dutch first shows up there just before Johnny's about to dive into the pool, and before
Real Dutch
gets up, she pushes him. And you go, now if that's mine Dutch, how could mine Dutch be pushing it?
Right.
And he turns around and when she basically tells him, now that you're hulling, think you can kick my ass? And he swings and there's no Dutch there. So you go, okay, well, that wasn't real Dutch, but it was interesting how she was able to push him.
Right.
Him. I was like,
Right. Sorry. I said happen? Real Dutch already. I thought at this point, yeah, it was real Dutch.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what? This doesn't make sense. This is so weird. But yeah, when they show him like trying to swing at her, there's nobody there.
Right.
Now, at this point, was Dav saying stop hitting yourself or hating yourself?
Hating yourself.
Oh, see, I thought he said stop hitting yourself because you're kind of making fun of him from earlier and the fact that nobody's there and he's just like swinging.
The hating part.
Oh, okay. But I thought Dad was going to have to use his little psychic ability to get Johnny. Well, Johnny. I'm like, how do I say that any other way?
Yeah.
To get the goo out of him. There we go.
Right.
But with the fighting, and he's got his hand on his throat, and I'm just watching this because Johnny ended up with the advantage, and it has to be because of the goo.
Right. Yeah, it was, well, and once again, Johnny plays on Davin's emotion because Davin was right on top of it. He used his little device sound emitter that brought Johnny to his knees, and he got on top of him and had him by the throat, and Johnny tells him, kill me. And of course that caused Davin to let up just for a second, and that was all the opening Holland Johnny needed.
Right.
And he flips him over, gets him choked, and says, I want this. And he's about to kill Davin.
Oh, God. It was like, holy crap. I know I was white-knuckling it. I'm like, oh, God. What is happening? Somebody tell me.
And then a shot rings out.
And then with all that happening, the shot rings out, and I was like, oh, my God, who's there now?
Yeah. Well, at first, because of how the episode played out, I thought maybe it was Lucy or Zeph.
Oh, okay.
But no, there's Dutch standing on top of the green. And like, what the hell?
Right, because it's all like iced over now.
Yeah.
It's not even iced over where we find out. It just solidified.
Yes.
And then she collapses. It's like, wait! What? Wait! Oh my gosh. Just that was so stressful.
Yeah.
And then we get this other part where I don't know how stressful I feel it was, but it was kind of one of those things that I was not expecting.
Right.
Because we're going to go back to the organ farm. And Dulcea, and I believe her name is Bibi.
That's what Dulcea called her later on in the episode, was B. So, yeah, I guess it's B something.
Well, they get taken back. And Dulcea's like, I demand to speak to who's in charge. Okay, because that's always great. That'll always work if you're the captive.
Right.
And Bibi's like, no, you don't want to talk to him. Trust me. And she's like, no, I need to talk to him. And in comes the warden and his guards. And he's all throwing around words like, oh, find the Killjoys. And they're nothing. No big deal. It's like, ooh, maybe no.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of dealing with Killjoys you've had in the past, but this ain't the same Killjoys.
No. And after sending his men off to find them, Bibi and Dulcea are talking really hushed tones, and the warden's just like, oh, should my ears be ringing? It's like, oh, God, this guy already, I can tell I'm not going to like him.
No, not at all. He is definitely a scumbucket.
Yeah. And Dulcea's like, those are my bodyguards, maybe you shouldn't mess with them. And he just seems to suddenly think, oh, well, you owe me for this. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
She doesn't have a debt to you, and if she does, she can pay, because she's still, part of the 9. She tries to say this, and he's like, oh, honey, you don't know who you are. Like, oh, what? Did somebody else take over? Which I wouldn't doubt, but this is weird.
Right.
He ends up shooting her 3 times with a trank, which I thought was kind of funny, because it took her that long.
Yeah, after she just kicked his ass. She slammed his head down on that table so hard and took out a couple of the guards.
Yeah, apparently he's like, oh, she's pregnant. She's not even a threat. Okay.
No.
You don't know.
That was go, Dulcea. And yeah, it had. Apparently he knew something because, well, I guess he decided that he wanted the baby and so he couldn't kill her, so loaded his pistol with tranks. But yeah, it was funny that it took 3 to put her down.
And then weirder that when she mentions the 9, he turns off the cameras. It's like, wait a second. Why are you turning those off? And then he says something like, oh, don't worry, you'll be giving birth soon.
Yeah.
My package will be here. It's like, oh. But somehow, and this is what I thought was weird, Dulcea talks Bibi into working with her to try to bring down the warden.
Right.
Now, granted, she doesn't want to be there either, but I just felt like that was an awful long shot. especially seeing as, the situation you're in.
Yeah, but I think the way Delsea handled the warden, at least blooding his lip
Mm-hmm.
and handling those guards, kind of made her feel like there might be some hope.
Okay.
So, and Delsea says, hey, we get caught, we're dead. So, it's better than living this life, isn't it?
That's true.
It really is.
Well, the question is, will it actually work? Will they be able to get out of this horrible situation? Because Delsea is strapped down.
Yeah.
And, well, maybe. Because Delsea ends up getting BB to turn on this little camera that apparently is used for internal, I'm thinking not even the surgeries, just to see if something's ready to be taken out.
Right.
But he doesn't know that because it's not the big giant cameras with little red lights, basically.
Yeah.
She does manage to get him talking long enough. It's like, here, cut my arm. And was weird because he's like, ooh, blood play. It's like, ew, stop.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. And he's like, oh, you heal. And so she talks to him essentially about his greed.
Right.
And suddenly it's like, oh, okay, well, this is going to work. So she gets out. And when she's off the table and they're walking to the front, the warden seems a little confused. It's like, I didn't call for extra guys. Why are you here? It's like, oh, honey, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Dulce's just like, oh, yeah, you don't understand. There was camera on. And he's like, no, there wasn't.
Yeah, I can all the cameras. Oh, except this one.
Yeah, BB kind of lets that
camera, which goes directly to the home office.
Yep.
And have some debt to repay them.
Yeah, looks like you've been stealing. Not going to take that too kindly.
No.
Oh, and I love it because he's like, I'm not through here. But you kind of are.
Yeah, and I'm the master, not you.
Yeah. And, of course, letting him know, yeah, you're going to be one of the people that are living here now on the other side. Because Dulce tells BB, go with them because, well, you know what? That's you're paid in full, basically. You're right out of here.
Right.
And maybe you should watch the first time they take something from him.
Right.
Ugh. Right. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Ugh. I was just like, wow, this is not good.
And she goes, getting used to this mothering thing, and BB gives her this big old hug, and she goes, whoa, hold on.
Right. But her face is like, no, what are you doing?
And it's absolutely amazing that this character, in season 1, we saw her 2 times maybe, and we couldn't stand her.
I still am kind of...
And we got into season 3, and there's a lot of people rooting for Dulcea now. And it's just like, wow, how did we get here? I mean, I love the humor. The humor is absolutely fantastic. Can I trust her? No, but I'm rooting for her. I kind of compared her to the evil queen on Once Upon a Time.
Oh, yeah, I mean, cause she was kind of going so back and forth, and same with the other character, where you're like, I don't know if I should be happy, or if I should be sad, or just leery. Yeah, I still don't like Dulcea, but it's not like this incredible hatred for the character.
Right.
I just feel like I can't trust her, so I don't like her.
Yeah. I mean, we could do 2 spin-offs, the Jacoby boys and Dulcea bringing up their alien baby, and
definitely weird.
Zeph as the new Killjoys.
Oh, geez. That would be really weird. Oh, yeah. So, speaking of Pip, Zeph, and Priya, let's go over and talk about them next, shall we?
All right. Team Awesome Force. And it starts with Pip sighing, and of course Zeph asks him what's wrong, and then informs him of all his little quirks that she's learned via observation.
Right. He's like, what? Yeah, but I'm still like, but is Pip really Pip, or is there some weird thing inside him?
There is no doubt in my mind that spider is inside him. Now, is it controlling him right now? I don't think so, but we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have an awkward conversation about where their relationship is, which was absolutely awesome. And agree it's only going to be what it was on the rack ship. So
You don't talk about it.
yeah. No Turin comes in and asks if there's any update on finding Lucy, and unfortunately not. But Zeph believes the Hullen ship should know, but needs to think, and she tells Pip to come to her room now. And I was going, no, Zeph, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, is he going to turn her?
Right. I was a little concerned myself. But we come back from that, and Zeph and Pip are examining one of the Hullen and are trying to figure out what has put them in sleep mode.
That's a really good question, and I don't know if it's because Anila went into the green, or if the lady's trying to get out, and so now they're like, they don't know what to do. They're kind of like stuck.
Right, yeah. They're basically, she was controlling everything from the green, but because Anila and Dutch were in the green, she had to focus on that.
Okay.
So, of course, she's not talking to the outside. So, of course, they just kind of go to sleep because they're not receiving any orders from her.
That's so weird, though.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, if you're unplugging, there's nothing to send those electrical impulses out.
Right. Then we get to see where Zeph wants Pip to get her the adrenaline, and he sees the spider that Feruza shot, and he hears some voices in his head, and you go, uh-oh, did that trigger it? Did that trigger it? Oh no. Getting a little worried because he definitely got very uneasy.
Yeah.
And of course, Zeph thinks that the Hullen is glitching, and of course, Pip suggests turning him on and off. Oh, reboot. And so Zeph uses an electronic pulse to the brain to reset him, and the Hullen jumps up, grabs Zeph's weapon, and points it at Pip. You go, oh crap, what have you guys done?
But then he freaks out and points it at himself.
Right, and says, she's coming, she's coming, she's coming.
Right, and then tries to shoot himself repeatedly, but the safety's on. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Who is she, and how bad is it that this guy's like, nope, gotta die?
Yeah, and Pip's going, who is she? Well, we know it's the lady. It's gotta be. We only thought Anila was bad.
Yeah, apparently the lady is way worse.
Yeah.
So they decide, okay, we need to use this Hullen because we can't get into the ship, but maybe we can kind of use the Hullen as a bypass, which sounds great.
Yep.
But I just kept saying, don't do it.
And Turin just about loses his shit over it.
Turin was kind of like me. I was like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you want to wake all them up?
Oh, I was stressing. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
So as this happens, and she tells Turin, okay, listen, this is what's happening. Oh, look. Suddenly Pip got the guy to move. And I'm like, Pip, what's going on with you, dude? He's
in the system. So now they can find out where the rest of the fleet disappeared.
Now, here's my question for you, because they have to get sworn in because they weren't rack officers or temporary, whatever. So we'll get back to that. But when we see Turin in like the next scene walking down the hall, and there's a bunch of Hullen. Why do you have them in the hall?
Yeah.
Like, they just showed that we got them all round up and they're all in this room, blah, blah, blah. Then why aren't any of them in the hall?
Right.
Just at the off chance that something's going to happen. I feel like this is a bad idea.
Right. They should all be locked up safe and secure somewhere.
That only makes sense to me.
Right.
But let me go back. Like I said, Zeph is like, you have to swear them in. And so Pri and Pip kind of do the swearing in ceremony. I say kind of because what they said was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do that, but that's what I do. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that, but that's my thing.
Yeah.
Dude, just repeat it and go. Like reading the terms of service. Who actually does that?
Right. But yes, I thought it was a great idea that Zeph had, was to have them all deputized just in case they got into some trouble somewhere.
Right.
If they can say they're killjoys, then that's going to get them out of 99% of any issues wherever they end up.
That's true. But I don't know. I still feel like Pri being a killjoy is kind of along the same lines as Hip. You know, he was laughing about it. I was kind of the same, like, oh, Pri, this ain't going to work for you.
Except he was a mob boss in his younger days, so...
And who knows what else?
That's right. I think this may work out just fine for Bree.
Well, they managed to locate Lucy, though, which was the ultimate goal here.
Right.
And so this trio makes their way over to Lucy, and they notice that everything seems weird.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she's been completely wiped, and nobody is on board. But at some point, they do find blood. It's like, how is nobody there, but you find that much blood?
Right.
I'm really starting to worry.
Right.
But at this point, Lucy's like, oh, you don't know what you're doing? We're going to purge the system. You get a 20-minute countdown.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you open all the doors then for them to run? Basically, it's like, oh, I'm going to hold you captive for 20 minutes and then kill you.
Right.
What?
Yeah, that Lucy 1.0 is not taking any chances.
No, because it's pretty funny, because at one point, Pree's like, baby girl, Lucy, can you explain to me what purging is? And then he's like, why do you have to be so basic? And I'm thinking, oh my god, she's like a basic computer model.
Right.
And then you have Zeph and Pree trying to use a PDA to synthesize Dutch's voice to be like, we don't need this. You can shut down the purge. Haha. It ain't happening. Sorry, guys. Lucy's like, nope.
Nope. Of course, Bree says, that was so horrible.
Right?
I gotta feel it. And he tries and gets shot down too.
It was funny, though. And Pip is like out in the hallway, and he's like, here, let me try.
Yeah,
right.
Locked in the hallway.
Let me try this.
I knew Johnny.
Oh, God, that was horrible.
Yes, it was.
And somehow in all of this mess, when they're down to about 4 minutes, Zeph remembers that Johnny got caught breaking into the ship because he was playing his music. So maybe there's something on his music list that can help. I was hoping it wasn't some horrible, horrible music that they'd already...
Bree happened to remember the first couple of lines, which allowed Pip to find it in Johnny's old PDA.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
But before this, of course, Bree, really? Where were you hiding that bottle? Because they decided to drink, and it's like, oh, well, with the lack of oxygen, you'll only get drunk faster. Okay, that's fine at this point. I don't think anybody cared. And that's when Bree was singing, and Zeph is like, you're just wasting oxygen. And Bree tells her what he wants at his funeral, which was none of the solemn boo-hoo stuff.
No.
It was singing, booze, and burly men. It's like, okay. And he's like, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I was half expecting Pip to be like, hey, but oh, wait, no. Yeah, okay.
No, you're not burly enough, Pip.
Yeah, I was expecting that, but yeah, we didn't get that.
So, of course, when Pip plays the song on the PDA, Lucy boots back up and becomes old Lucy and shuts down the security protocols, and everybody's happy and safe.
Yay.
Lucy asks where Johnny is, and Zeph says, we need help with that. She scans for the elevator, and off they go.
Thankfully, they didn't get purged. I'm guessing that's what happened to whoever's blood that was before.
Right. Unless it was... See, did Johnny get shot on Lucy? No, that was later.
I know, trying to keep it all straight.
Yeah. Trying to figure out where Johnny got hurt originally. If it was before they got on the elevator. Yeah, it was. Yeah, because they wanted him to stay put, and he gutted it out. But all those flashbacks on the elevator sure didn't look like Johnny was hurt.
Right? Good meds, I guess.
I guess so. So, of course, as B's about to walk out the door to follow the warden, in pop Zeph, Bree, and Pip with their guns drawn.
I love this part. Because I think it was Pree's like, stop, Killjoys. It's like, oh God.
Yeah.
No.
Now you show up?
Right. And of course, where are the boys? Well, hello, they were with you last.
Yeah.
We don't know.
They abandoned her. So, of course, Zeph tells Lucy to scan for the comms, and Bree goes, what do we do with this?
Oh, man. Yeah, well, I guess we're taking her back. We don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, it's all about the warrant.
Right. And especially Dulcea, when she's like, I'm going with you. I need to destroy the galaxy and I need a shower and a nap. I guess you don't screw with the pregnant woman no matter how horrible she has been.
Right. You're going to get it 100 times worse. Of course, Pree goes, don't mess with me because we've been deputized. And gives Pip the honors of arresting her.
Oh my god, he says something and I can't remember what it was offhand, but he's like, oh, did that sound good? Did that sound badass? Ha!
Always.
Like, oh god, you're so cheesy.
Yeah. And he puts his hand on Dulcea's shoulder and she looks at him, you're touching.
Right.
Your Highness, I'm sorry.
Like, you will have that thing taken off if you don't quit. So, like, okay, great. We got Dulcea. We have most of the family back together. What's going to happen next?
Right.
Oh, guess what? Lucy has a fix on Johnny. Let's go get the boys. So,
We end up getting Zeph, Pree, and Pip leading a very chained Johnny back onto Lucy, followed by Dulcea and Davin carrying Dutch.
that was a little heartbreaking when you see her just, like, knocked out.
Right. And you kind of go, I don't know if I like this idea or not, getting everybody back on the ship.
Right.
This could go wrong in so many ways. And of course, Davin asks Zeph, how's John? And she tells him his psychosis is getting worse and thinks their best shot of cleansing him is back at the Armada. And we see Johnny just standing there chained to the wall and turns around and then you get this awful, evil grin on his face, and you go, I don't know if I like this.
Right. What are you doing, Johnny?
Of course, he asks about Dutch. Zeph says there's nothing wrong with her. She just won't wake up.
This isn't good.
No. Cut to Pree holding Dutch's hand.
Just telling her everything that's happening.
Right. And of course, Davin mentions the pool crystallizing, and what does that mean? I don't know.
Right. And Zeph's like, because right now, priority is Dulcea.
Yeah. Having the baby before they get back.
Yeah. But I mean, at this point, it's like, okay, yeah, the baby's big. She should have delivered last week. But she seems to be fine. So some babies are just big, is what I was thinking.
Right.
Until, the very end scene where she walks onto the bridge and she's like, does this mean what I think it means? And you just see that there's, like, water on her dress and all over her feet. And it's like, oh, well, Zeph's like, if you think it means your water just broke, yes. Yes, it does. And I wanted to know what the song was, too, that was playing, but it could not find it on Shazam. So if you know what the song was at the end, you guys email us, because I really like that. But it was a heartbreaking song, too.
Yeah.
So the music that they're finding is just perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, when she just stops it, and the very last thing is her saying, oh shit, it's like, oh yeah, what? I forgot. They don't know what's what. Because the warden even says this, sorry, honey, I don't believe it, because royalty, the 9, they don't have their own babies. They have surrogates. It's like, oh. So she really doesn't have a clue.
No.
Like, they probably didn't even tell them what the deal was when they were growing up.
No.
See kids, poor sex education classes. This is what happens.
Yep.
But wow, this was such a good episode, and just like, it's stressful.
Yeah.
So my biggest question is, why is the green iced over or solidified or whatever it is?
Dutch came out of it. Yeah. That.
Is Pip? I don't think so.
No.
And will Johnny be okay? Yet to be determined.
And what will Dulcea's baby do once it's delivered?
What will the baby look like?
Yeah.
So these and all your questions answered on the next episode. Well, we hope so.
Yeah.
Just, throwback to all the old TV. It was crazy. Hey, Steve, did we get any feedback this week?
Oh, yes, we did. Our friend Fred from the Netherlands made sure he got some feedback in. Let's take a listen.
Hello, Fangirl Zone podcasters. This is Fred from the Netherlands with some feedback for Killjoys Season 4, Episode 3. First off, I love to see Dulcea having a big role in this episode. She is really the badass royalty I like. She is not hindered by her pregnancy at all. Very reminiscent, if you watch that series, of Winona Earp in Season 2. Yet another superhero that's pregnant. Nice quote from the episode. Delsea Kendry, you have been locked and served, says Pepin. Okay, I have always wanted to say that. Did that sound badass? That felt like really badass. Delsea, you're touching me. Sorry, Your Highness. Your Highness. Biggest question from the episode, of course, is how was Dutch's encounter with the lady? I actually was expecting finally to learn who the lady is. How did Dutch get out of the green anyhow? I have one thought about this. When Anila made Dutch out of her memories, it proved that it is possible to get out of the green. Something the lady shouldn't know about. But since Dutch and Anila are in the green, possibly the lady knows now how to get out of the green. What if the person that came out of the green is not Dutch, but the lady, or a combination of both? It could also explain why the green altered, looks dried up, crackled. Perhaps it's because the lady left the green, and she will be the big bad for the rest of the season. Just an idea. And to finish off, there is nothing delicate about me or my condition. Toodles!
Yeah, Fred, we have to agree with you that Delsea is definitely got a royal attitude.
Yeah, we'll go with that. You know what? I don't know what's gonna come. Like, I can't even feel her, like, giving birth. You know what I mean? It's like...
Right.
So this is gonna be weird how this all plays out, but, I think I have to agree with you that, like, there's just a big question about the encounter with the lady. And are we ever going to actually see who this lady is? Or is it always somebody that you know? You know, like, is it always somebody in your mind? And they just assume it was a lady. They just kind of gave it a name.
Right. And that's very possible because we don't know.
Right. We know nothing.
Yeah. We have no backstory on this evil thing.
Yeah. And the whole thing with the lady being part of her and that explaining what's up with Green. I don't know, because I feel like if the lady came out with Dutch, that she wouldn't have helped Johnny.
Right. She'd have just let him die right there.
Yeah. So I guess we'll figure that out as we go.
Yeah, that's a good question, Fred. And of course, the the interaction between Pippin and Delsea was absolutely awesome.
Kindness? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that plays out, too, because, sorry, Delsea, the only one around that can help you is Zeph, and I don't know, if you get too far, like, too crappy with Pippin, I don't know, maybe she won't.
Yeah.
That is her little boy toy right now.
That's right. You gotta be nice to, Team Awesome Force right now.
Exactly.
No matter how much it hurts you to do that. Once again, Fred, thanks for the feedback. Great stuff, and can't wait till your next feedback.
Thanks, Fred. While you're trying to contemplate all the insanity, if you can rate and review us on iTunes and every other platform you find us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. Tell your friends about the show. I don't know how you haven't not gotten them into it at this point, but this is definitely something you want to share. So hopefully with you talking excitedly about this episode, they will want to watch the seasons.
Right.
Because I know that's what I did. So if you want to shoot us an email, if you know, like I said, if you know what the song was, definitely shoot us an email or a tweet or something, because I so want to know it, because it sounded so good and haunting, and it was just an amazing song. I couldn't find it by song lyrics. I suck. But if you want to send that to us, or just send us a, hey, this episode was blah, 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 in my opinion, find all the contact info. I just put all that together at www.fangirlzone.com. We have a contacts page, so you can see our Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, email, our personal email, so you can just send us messages too about this, because it was so amazing and I loved it. So for this episode of SyFy Talk, I'm Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. Well, yeah, we thought we were going to die, and sex helps me think.
And until next time.